Hello, Crossroads Witches and other interesting magical beings. I hope everyone out there is doing well. I'm Taren S. I'm an old conjuring southern witch, American Witchcraft. Hadn't said that in a while and I thought I would. And for those of you returning that saw my Getting Personal video, thank y'all for all your comments, everything you said. It just makes me feel good. And with that said, I got some good stuff I'm going to be talking about today. But before I do that, I want to start with, today is a wine drinking day. I got me a nice bottle of a Phantom. It's supposed to be for folks that see spirits. Because in the winery there are spirits, according to the back of this bottle. And I thought, well, that sounds like a good one for me. And of course, as you witches know, I don't do well with open containers. So, sippy cup wine. If there's a way, or if there's a will, there's a way. And that's what I'm saying right there. So, today's subject is keep it simple. The KISS, but I think we should just say KIS. The other part, I don't think we ought to do name calling on folk. So, I recently, this is not really a promo, but of course it's a promo because I'm talking about one of my books. Magical Herbal Teas and Incense Recipes for the Dead. Or incense recipes. They're for living folks too. In the back of the book, I give a recipe for a tea to Hecate and also an incense blend. And somebody sent me a little note with the Mama Taren, Hecate's incense blend only has 2 ingredients. Are you missing something? You know, and I'm going to let y'all know the ingredients are myrrh and sandalwood. That's it. We find that at her oldest shrines, myrrh and sandalwood were burnt as sweet offerings to her. And these are the older incense. First I want to say, but they didn't have Amazon back then. All right, y'all witches. Recipes were simple. The ingredients themselves were often treasured. When I just said one of her ingredients was myrrh, all right, and sandalwood as well. These are both, during antiquity, fairly expensive. Just putting myrrh, being able to offer that was, a privilege. You done paid for that incense. Now you're telling me I gotta have 15 more ingredients? And this is where I see a lot of the contemporary, a lot of you new folk out there, you think you need to have 15 ingredients. You need to have lots and lots and lots. And I'm like, after 3, I typically can't keep up with it, And I'm not going to say there aren't times I do not work within 5, 7, 9. I typically stay within numerology when I am working items. But I was going through my book here with the realization that the vast majority of my workings, the vast majority of the things that I do, 1, 2, 3 ingredients, here's just 2, because it is about connecting to that item, all right? If you're using herbs, you need to be able to connect with each one individually. And sometimes using lots and lots of herbs, it sort of dilutes it, all right? Let each item stand out and energetically pulse as loud as it can without crowding in as many other things as I can think to put into this working, And no, I'm not going to say there aren't some workings that, like, the more you put in it, the better. especially if you're working with any of your like honey jars or sour jars. You typically will sit there and meditate and marinate on things I can put in it. The more the merrier. But typically, if I'm working protection, I'm working prosperity, all right, which I think are two main things that we work. I'm really of the attitude that the more simpler it is, then for me personally, and I'm not talking for every witch out there, but the more simple it is, to a degree, the more powerful it becomes. The easier it is for me to really tune in on one particular item, one particular tool, herb, crystal, whatever I'm using to aid me and my magic. I can really hone in and bring it up, as opposed to sitting here trying to go find all these different ingredients, some that I don't know about. I've never seen it before. I got to go look it up. I mean, how am I connected to that? How am I resonating with it? I don't know its story. And so I don't feel like I can connect. Whereas when I really use a couple of items in a very meaningful way, then woo, honey, I just feel like the whole universe can explode at that point. I'm talking, you bring your 1, 2, 3 items into the crossroads, start doing a little dancing, and it's just amazing. You can sort of nudge the universe a little from left to right. I mean, this ain't algebra, honey. This is magic. Now, the other thing, the second half of this, because I realized I have notes, and I'm like, I'm just going to do this in one video, and I've made a couple of videos about it. I talk about it, and I know it's so important that I'm going to keep saying it over and over, and that's the don't touch the spoon, don't get caught up in negativity, don't be writing snarky things, don't be belittling people, don't, gatekeeping, all of those things. I know sometimes in the community we get on social media and it looks like that's all we see. And that's not the truth of this community. First, I want y'all to realize that a portion of our community is online, is on social media. There's a vast amount of us that aren't. No intentions of. Or if we are on social media, we are very much still in the closet. Okay? All right, because a lot of our folks in the magic community at large very much live their lives in the shadow, privacy, with a bit of a veil of secrecy, not because it's cool, because that's how their life dictates it. As much as we like to talk about, the freedom of, this is also where you can learn about the freedom of retaliation when they find out what you are and they don't like you. And families, jobs, circumstances, all of that. So, a lot of our folks are in the closet. We have some folks on social media, all right? Most of those folks on social media are amazing folks. And then we got these little shit stirrers up here. They're bullies. And they're all the time popping off, saying stuff divisive and everything else, all right? Now, you'll never change them. And I firmly believe that if we went back all the way to the Temple of the Delphi, and we're standing out there, they would have the same statistical amount. We would have a great amount of good folk over here. Wonderful, wonderful people. And then we would have those shit stirrers. All right? They are, just let you know, they ain't going nowhere. All right? You cannot change them. There's nothing that you're going to say. There's no enlightenment that any of us can put upon someone else if they are not willing to receive it. Y'all heard it. All right? We cannot change others, but we can change ourselves. When we've learned better, we do better. All right? We can see where our actions and take responsibility for them. I'll be the first to sit here on YouTube and say, I've hurt people. Not intentionally. All right? But I unintentionally, my good intentions hurt people. All right. And y'all heard the saying, all right, hell's paved with good intentions. So, this is what I've done. Now, what's the next? All right. I recognized what I did and I changed my behavior. Okay? Where I recognized how it was being perceived, I recognized the undercurrent and went, that was not what I want. I need to change my behavior. All right? And not try to do a tally of I did, she did, he did, they did, and now I'm doing better best. That's not what this is about. This is acknowledging who you are, all right? Taking responsibility for it, and then doing better. All right? Sounds simple. Back to that kiss thing we were talking in the first half of this video about. So many things are so simple that sometimes it eludes us, the simplicity of it. You're like, no, it's got to be more complicated. No, it doesn't. All right? We make it complicated. In fact, as human beings, we're really, really good at making things complicated. We do a darn good job of it. We write lists and rules and all sorts of things up. All right? But what it comes down to for us as individual witches, again, I say this a lot, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to guarantee in other videos I'm going to say it. Your own ethical code, your own moral compass, okay? And when you find out that it's not being perceived in the world the way you think, when you find out better, when you understand something you've been doing was done in a way that shouldn't have been done, what do? You do better. All right? We can't change the past, which is, it's behind us. We can move forward, making sure that we don't ever do those behaviors again. And why am I talking about all of this? Because this is where our ego, our confidence, and our magic all come and stand on that same crossroads, all right? You want to be a powerful witch, full of magic, all right? You just want to be sparkly, okay? And everything. How does that happen with all these wonderful sparklies that you're going to create? Confidence comes from within. Same place magic is. And the same place our ego lies. And our ego is a shadow self that is both good and bad. We're not going to say it's all bad, because it's not. All right, but there's a complex individual up in you right now. Okay? You, in this moment, have the ability to change your life going forward, not anybody else's. And now as you change your life, as you start doing better, as your vibrations start upping, your energy shifts. The people that are attracted to you are different. Doors that you never knew existed open. Worlds reveal themselves to you. Yeah, that's all true. All right? No bullshit. That's really what happens. But you got to face yourself first. Sometimes I think witchcraft sounds like one self-help course. But I understand that in order to have powerful magic, I need to know me. And in order to know me, I need some self-help. Sometimes I need professional therapy. And of course, witches, I'm an advocate for mental health. If y'all need it, go talk with someone. Go talk with folks in which have really, they've studied this up and they really can help. All right? How important that is for all of us. But I'm going to circle right back around to the beginning of this conversation of our community. These 2, 3, 4%ers don't pay him no mind. If you end up in space with him, back out of the room quietly. Don't touch the spoon. Go find the good folk. We got some amazing magical folk, all sorts of different flavors out there, especially if you're new to the community. I know sometimes it's a little overwhelming. All right, enjoy the journey. Okay, well, I'm still on a journey. It never ends. Okay, I really think that's the big thing. We're like, I'm going to get there. Ha! No, you're not. We are forever students. The more I've learned, the more I know, makes me realize the less I know, the less I've learned, and I got a lot more work to do. And I may not finish it this lifetime. It may take me the next lifetime and the next lifetime after that. And that's great. It means I got something to do, you know? Working within Magick is this constant state of, I almost want to say evolving, but it's a different paradigm shifting evolving. It's an evolving of self and of our own personal awarenesses, all right? It's always about leaning in a state of wonderment. It's about willing to be able to have what you really believe to be true right now in this minute shattered. And looking in on it and going, oh, I see the new. I see the different. I see, you know, not holding on to old beliefs, not allowing yourself to stagnate. And I think the most important thing is understanding that you are this special, all right? If you've already leaned into the community, you've already whispered the word, you've maybe even said witch out loud. Ooh, you may have done it with the lights off in the bathroom, standing there, I'm a witch. And then finally having the courage to turn those lights on. You are this special, all right? You are part of our community. Be aware of that. There's millions and millions of mundane folk out there who don't even know we exist, nor do they need to. Ain't their lifetime to even worry about us folk, all right? But you're in the community, and you're sitting there thinking, no, I'm still new. So we all stood there. Come on in. You're here. You're magical. You have a special spark inside you right now. And the reason I know that, I'll tell you right now, I'll give you a good old Southern guarantee. You're watching this video. You are leaning into your own magic. You are trying to learn how to do you. All right? So you're looking to one of the older witches and looking for those inspirations, those words of inspiration, those moments of empowerment. You're trying to figure you out. What I want you to never, ever lose sight of is the fact that you are the special, all right? You ain't got to go looking for it. Don't put a tear in my eye. Y'all mess my makeup up. I got me a thing I got to do tonight. But it just brings up of all the years of these young witches, young magical folk, and what you're all looking outside, you're looking in books, you're looking elsewhere, and I'm thinking, you're so bright and sparkly. You're so magical. What is it? Let me say it right. Give me 1 second. I wish you could see you the way I do. Because I see the magic. And I want you to see the magic. So, I want y'all to go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, whatever words you're comfortable with, or whatever words you're challenging yourself with. Are you a magician, an occultist, a witch, or just a magical being? Are you part of the Fae? I want you to say it out loud. And that will begin your journey. Now, like I said, don't put a little emotion up in this, because there are just moments I just want to hug y'all and truly, truly convey to you how special you are in our community. We need the next generation. All right? 30, 40 years ago, I got to be the next generation. And I was really, really blessed because there was some wonderful older elder folks that whispered words to me in the right places and helped me along my journey. And that's what this is all about for me. Is hopefully I've whispered a couple of words that's helped you along your journey. Because ultimately, witch, I can't teach you how to do your magic, but I can inspire you to learn your magic. I can inspire you to have confidence in yourself, but you have to do all of these things. You are the magic. You are the special. And with that said, I'm going to get back to promo, magical herbal incense teas and recipes. I'm really proud of this book. These are my recipes, and I love them. And when I sprinkle myrrh and sandalwood on my altar to Hecate, I know I'm sprinkling an incense that she has been given for thousands and thousands of years, and it goes back into the mist of time. And I'm connecting with all those other folks that stood there giving that to her. I'm connecting with all of those crossroad shrines that ask for her wisdom, her guidance, her protection. So when you are looking for your workings, when you are looking for your incense to put on your altar, don't think complexity, think simple. That's what I'm saying right there. All right, witches, get out there, fly those brooms. I want you to go have a bright, sparkly day. And as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and H.o.W. Okay, here we go. Alright, Mother Goddess, all that is divine, in every form, all aspects, please let me say wise words. Please let me say gentle words. Please let me speak words that folks need to hear.
Come on in. I know where the good stuff is.
Hello, come in. I have something to share.